So the Osu people are said to have migrated from Ile-Ife in Nigeria. You might have also read that they are not the actual settlers of the Osu town. We are here to hear from Wulomo Numo Noi Sekankpenu II, who is the chief priest of the Osu Nadu. Numo Wulomo is going to take us through the history, traditions, as well as the culture of the Osu people. Come with us for an interesting discourse with Numo Kwenuku.
Say this.
Kawo babi ene wonye ni ade lu etuluwe roku npa nko se bi ewon wonye atapata abe yabo niji enyo agbene nko babi wonye atapoate nwe suso mfaso niji eten leta se bi ene agbene niji wochi wo fe wochi numo bodi nwe osikan peleku osu klote Nadu Wulom Lene Usu Efe Che Lene Leba Beli Manche Ba Kele Bakwe Be Manche Bako Lene Agbene Ko Shebe no Mumiji Ni Inwe Uchambi Bibiu. Thank you.
As you just saw earlier, we had the Ochami introducing the chiefs, the elders, as well as the Wulomo of Osu Klote. And thank you for joining us on People and Places. We're here to discuss or talk about the history of Osu. Do stay tuned. Welcome back from the break. We are going straight to action. Good morning, chiefs. Good morning, elders. Good morning, Ochami. Thank you so much for having us here on People and Places. But first of all, for the benefit of our viewers who do not, may not know your name, can you please mention your full name to us?
Okay, thank you very much. I am Walumo Boni Numo Noi Sekankpenu II, Osu Nadu and Klote Wulomo, the overlord of all of Osu.
All right, thank you so much. We are here to learn about the Ghan tradition, specifically Osu and its history. So I'll go straight to ask about the settlement of Osu. How did the Osu people settle? Where are they from? Who led them?
Okay, to begin with, I think I have to tell you the geographical position of Osu. Okay. Then we can, from there, we'll tell you how we came into this area. Osu starts from the Atlantic Ocean and ends at Adenkrebi at the north side, northern side. The southern side is from the Atlantic Ocean, and then the northern side is at Adenkrebi. Then the western side, we start from Boundary Road, which is now known as Kojo Thompson Road or Kwame Nkrumah Avenue.
Oh, okay.
And then the eastern side boundary is at Obenesu, a stream just behind the La Polyclinic. That is our boundary, that is the area. Okay. Now to talk about Osu and its settlement. Osu is a Nadu clan, and we migrated from Shame, that is in the eastern part of Nigeria, and settled at Osuko, which is Osudoku, which is in the Shai Osudoku district. on a mountain we call Osuyokbo. That is where we landed. And due to some conflict between the chief, who is the Manche, that is, we call that Choche, who is the Manche of the Osudoku area, with some beads, these agri-beads that we use. So there was a festival, there was a rice to be performed for Noikpeneku's daughter.
That's the name of the chief.
That is the name of the first Osu Wolom.
Okay.
Noikpeneku's daughter. There was a rite to be performed for her, that is the Otofo rite. And some of the beads were borrowed from some of the old ladies in the area. But unfortunately, I think one of the beads got missing. And all the agreements to settle that issue did not hold because they were asking for 12 virgins to replace the beads. This was incredible, and Noikpeneku could not stand that. So he and his family left Osudoku.
Okay, before you continue, what were they going to use the 12 virgins for?
That is what actually we don't know up to date. But what we know is the Nadu shrine, the worshipping of the Nadu deity is mostly they use these virgins. They sacrifice the virgins to worship the Nadu deities. That is in the olden days, which was stopped by the Gokos government. And that was what scattered the whole of Osudoku and the Shai district. So that everybody, some went to Yilo, some went to Manya, some went to other places. So I think that was the reason for the demand of those 12 virgins for the beads, so that they would always have an adequate supply of virgins for their deity worshipping. Yeah. Now, when we set off, we first landed at Ajemanti, near Aburi. And this name Ajemanti came about due to the sizes of our elders, that is our predecessors. The sizes.
Meaning they were huge?
They were huge people.
Okay.
And because of their worship of this Nadu deity, they were very fearsome. So the drumming and dancing at Ajemanti invited the Akropons, the Aquapims, to come and see which people were there, because in those days there were not many people. So the noise invited them to come and see which people have encroached on their lands. But when they sneaked there and saw the people drumming and dancing, their sizes and their muscular features, they went back to tell the chief of Aburi that the people we are seeing there, unless you have muscles, you cannot move them. That is the meaning of Ajimeti, Ajemanti.
So is the Chi?
Is the Chi corrupted name?
Okay.
It's a corrupted name of the Chi. It's Ajimeti. Unless you have muscles, you cannot move those people.
Okay.
And that was how we came about that name, Ajemanti. So from Ajemanti, we moved down to Osuko, near Kwaublenya, behind the present-day atomic energy area. When you go into Ashonman through Obahima Road, Kwabinya Road.
Okay.
So we came there and settled there. We had to leave that place because our Noekpeneku died at Akuse. So our grandmother, Nanole, was the person who led the whole family to Ajemanti. So from Ajemanti, we descended down from the hill and came to Osuko. When present day, the basic people call that place Musuko. It is not Musuko, it's Osuko.
Oh, what does it mean?
Osuko, that is our forest, Osu's forest.
Okay.
Osuko. So when you read the M.J. Fields book of the anthropology of the Ga social organization of the Ga people, you will find it there at page 192.
Okay.
It's Osuko. So when we settled at Osuko, our old lady died at Osuko. So she was buried at a place we presently call Kojiete. When you get to William Nas land, you will find that those molds, there are 3 molds. They buried her in between the 3 molds. That was the tradition of burying fetish priestesses, because she was a fetish priestess. That was the tradition of burying.
Was she in any way related to Noi?
She is a sister to Noi Kpeneku.
Kpeneku.
Yes.
Okay. And I want to take you back. Was it Noi Kpeneku who led you from Nigeria?
It was Noi Kpeneku who led. It is not Noi Kpeneku who led us from Nigeria. It is Bokete Lawe, the Nungwa priest, who led us from Nigeria. That is why we have some tradition we call Obenesu. That is Obeneshimo.
Please, what does it mean?
Obeneshimo, that is living Bene.
Okay.
Living Bene.
Living Benin.
Yes.
Okay.
You see, Bene is the old kingdom of Nigeria. We call it Bene.
Okay.
The Bene state.
Okay.
And so when we were leaving, so we said, oh, Bene Shimo. Bene Shimo.
Bene Shimo.
We were leaving the place. So it was him who led us, but along the way, because of the treacherousness of the Bene king, so we left in groups. We left in groups. So Osu took the inland way and then came to Osuyokpo, that is at the Shaidoku district. And that is where Noi Kpeneku led us from there, and he died at the Laloi Lagoon at Akuse. And then Nanole, the priestess, who is the sister of Noi Kpeneku, led us from there to Ajamanti, and then descended to Osuko. And she also died at Osuko, and she was buried there. Because of that, the Osus moved from that place, because their understanding is that when a priestess dies, wherever she is buried, there is ill luck around that area. So they have to leave the place.
Oh.
So they left and came to Hacho, which was formerly known as Soglamang.
Oh, wow.
So they came to Hacho. And then from there, there was a conflict between the Ga fisher folks and then the Obutu fisher folks about a rock, and who has to own that rock, and who has to perform rites on that rock, and who has to take control over that beach.
Was the rock a sacred?
It was
something
considered a sacred rock.
Okay.
So what happened was that there was the need for a high priest to come and perform rites, for them to know who exactly is supposed to have control of that place. So Noi Osekan, that is Noi Tedoku, who has succeeded his grandfather.
Okay.
That is Noi Tedoku, who is the Wulomo at that time, was called Noi Osekan, Note Osekan Doku, was called to the beach to come and perform that rite. And fortunately, he succeeded in performing the rites and drove off the Obutus to Nyanyano. So after the Obutus left and went to Nyanyano, he sought for this particular place to come here. But when we arrived here, we met the Nungwas here. The Nungwa, Babu Lomo, and his people worshipping the Lagoon Klote. They owned it. They own all this land. Okay. So through one of their hunters, who is known as Odai Koto, so we just solicited for the land, and we went. The elders went to Nungwa, and that land was given in exchange for one of Noi Kpeneku's daughters.
Oh.
Yes, so he was married to Bokete Lawe, and that was how we became related, and then we had this place.
Oh, okay. So it means the Nungwa people moved from here.
They moved from
to
here,
their present
and that is exactly why the stream where we parted, they named the stream after our ancient living of Benin, and so we call that place Obenesu.
Oh.
That stream is known today as Obenesu. And so we have judgments on all these geographical boundaries that I have described now.
So I also want to find out, whilst leaving Benin, the Osu people, was there a case where, or an instance where, wherever you got to, people chose to remain, or you came together as a group?
The king of Benin in those days was very wicked, and he wasn't treating the Gans, or what we call the Dangbes, very well. We were by then known as Lapless. We were the Lapless. So he was not treating us very well. And at times they used to catch some of our people for sacrifices because they were taking us to be strangers in the land. So we decided to leave. And even that, they weren't ready to allow us to leave. That was why we chose that method of living by tradition. We were drumming, beating gongons, so they thought we were there. Oh. So we were going slowly, slowly. So bit by bit and group by group, we were living till they saw that we've all gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting bit. But if you say you were strangers in Benin, where exactly did the Gans come from? Because from research, some people say the Gans are from Israel. Some people say Niger.
Exactly so.
Yeah.
We are a tribe, the Levitical tribe of the Dan, of the tribe of Dan in Israel, and that was in 72 AD. 72 AD, when the Persians invaded Israel, Jerusalem, and they had wanted to take the Ark of Covenant. So we were the people who carried the Ark of Covenant to Ethiopia.
Okay.
So we left from Ethiopia because the Somalians were also disturbing us. They were Berbers, they were also disturbing us. So we were not a warlike people, we are just a priestly group. So we left there also and came to Sudan, the Kowa Valley. And from the Kowa Valley, we entered Nigeria. We entered Nigeria because we were looking for water. And we worship where we have water. We use only water to worship. So we were a Levitical group. That was how we came to Nigeria.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting history about the Osu people specifically. So I want to find out about the clan, the Osu clan. Do you have different types of clans, or it's just one structure?
We have only one clan, that is the Nadu clan.
Okay.
Anybody who ascribes to himself that he is an Osu-born, intrinsic Osu-born, who has the name Norte, Naku, Nole, Nopashoko, and all that, they are all the Nadu clan. Okay. So we perform the Otofo rites. That is the puberty rites. We perform the Otofo rites for the ladies and the Bonzo rites for the men.
Okay, so can you briefly take us through the rites, the puberty rites for both the females and the males?
Most of it is a shrouded secret that we don't actually divulge to outsiders.
Okay.
But what happens is that when a girl is of age and about to enter into her puberty period,
between 13 years, from 13 years,
from 12,
okay,
or 7 years going, she is taken by the old ladies and taken through some rites, so that she will become sacred, so she becomes marriageable. But if the girl becomes pregnant before that, we consider that girl as a taboo. So in the ancient days, that particular girl does not enter the traditional or religious houses.
Okay, it's not like she's taken away or sacked from.
No.
Okay. No. There are specific places.
There are specific places she will not enter.
Okay. How about the males?
The males too, they perform the bonsu for them to prove that they are of age, that they can go to war.
Okay.
And they can also marry the girls.
Okay. All right. So still on the clan issue, aside Osu, we have people from La, we have people from Nungwa, we have people from Teshi. What differentiates you from the other gang group?
Looking at the whole aspect of clan system, it looks as if it is due to our journey through the Osu-Doku and the Shai areas, that and our stay there, that was what transformed us into this Nadu system. Okay. But looking at the generic issue, the whole of these Ga people, whether Mashi people, whether Nungwa, whether we were all Pele people, what I would call Akpleku people.
Okay.
But when we, the Osu people, came through the Osu Shaidoku district, we lived there for more than 100 years. So definitely we were inducted into that Nadu religion and we became Nadu clan people. That is the only difference. Apart from that, there is no difference between Nungwa, La, Teshin, and there is no difference between us. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And there are researches or study that before the Gans arrived in Osu, the place was occupied by Akwamus and some sections of the Akans, and that the Gans were ruled by the Akwamu people especially. Can you clarify that for us?
That is not exactly true.
Okay.
When Osu got here around 1620, got to these shores around 1620, and we met the Danes and the Nungwas and a few Gamashin people. Gamashin was at that time at Ayuwaso. So all these places were Pharaoh land, which was not occupied, but I would say convincingly that the Nungwa people occupied this place. So it is not the Akwamus. The Akwamus were on the Nyanao Hill, and they were warlike people, and they traded in slaves. So they always had to come down to trade with the Europeans, the Danes and the British who were trading in slaves. So they wanted a leeway just to meet the Danes or the British people directly, and we were not giving them that chance. So they always had to go to war with us. But finally, we defeated them.
Wow. But history has it that the Akans defeated the Gans. I mean, 3 different.
There is no war in history that the Gans have been defeated. No.
Okay.
That is a travesty of truth. There is no war.
Okay.
And all the facts are here. There is no war.
Okay. And another clarification.
We were only defeated by the British, and that is about the poll tax issue.
Okay. What happened? Can you give us
when we came here, the Danes also came to build their fort. But we did not allow them to build a fort on the land. We asked them to go into the sea. So they met with King Takitaria I, and then he allowed them to build near the shore. So formerly, if you have a picture of the ancient Christenborg Castle, it was in the middle of the sea.
In the middle. So if this is the sea, it was in the middle.
It was in the middle of the sea.
Okay.
About almost a kilometer away from the shore. So what we see right now was all done by Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
That is the Osu Castle.
Osu Castle. So he failed, I would say he dammed that distance and then joined the castle to the new one and then built a fence around our shrine. So formally, the castle was in the sea. We did not allow them to build here.
Okay, but I want another clarification.
The poll tax, I'm coming there.
Okay.
So when they settled down at the castle, that was in 1856, they decided to take poll tax because that was after the 1818 treaty, which 1844 treaty, which they signed to govern the Gold Coast colony, which our chiefs agreed. So they had wanted to take poll tax from us. So our Wulomo, on whose stool I'm sitting today, blatantly refused and decided that they will never pay the poll tax. So they joined the Teshin Labadi people. They went into a meeting and decided and resolved that they are not going to pay the poll tax. So the British had wanted to use a little bit of force. Instead of coerciveness, they had wanted to use a little bit of force to exact that poll tax from us. So our elders rose up in rebellion And then they besieged the castle. So for about 21 days, the British were not able to come out of the castle, and all their logistics got finished. So they telegraphed to Sierra Leone, and from Sierra Leone, they telegraphed to Nigeria, and they brought in a warship known as the Scourge, and they started to bombard Osu.
Oh. So you had a number of the people being killed?
A lot of them. So that was the reason why we had a lot of these, our villages, that is Matahiko, Mambobi, Nima, Kotobabi, and all those places.
Oh, so they fled?
We have to flee.
Oh, but
because in those days we don't have ammunition apart from these flint guns and these our spears and arrows and our swords. And these people are using cannons. They are firing the cannons from the sea, the warship. So how you cannot fight them because you don't see them, you don't meet them to fight them. If they are coming on the land, then we can fight boot for boot. But they weren't coming down for us to fight. They were in the ship and they were bombarding, and the cannons were flying. So they had to flee.
But did you have some courageous ones who still stayed on the land?
A lot.
Okay.
A lot. Other than that, we wouldn't have been here by now.
Yeah.
So not all of them fled, but some of the courageous ones remained.
Okay. So, like I said earlier, I needed a clarification still on the Akwamu. Again, history has it that one influential leader of the Akwamus found his way into the Osu Castle, which was, what's it called? Yeah, Asomani, yes. He was in the Christianborg Castle, and he found his way around because he was a merchant, and he occupied the place. He defeated the British, occupied the place, and then 2 years or a few years later, he handed it over with 50 pieces of gold. But he still has the original key to the Osu Castle. Can you please
that is
shed some light on
I would
it?
say that is the expedition of the Akwamus with the British, but not the Gans.
Okay, so the Gans had nothing to do.
Had nothing to do
You
with
were
that.
on your own land.
We were
and
on our
he was
land.
doing his own
He
thing.
was doing his own thing.
Okay. Okay. So we just got enlightened about Osu and its people, thanks to Numok Peneku II. In the first session, he took us through the settlement as well as the puberty rites of the Osu Nadu Klote clan. This has been People and Places. Watch out for the second part.